There's another funny one that happened as Ronnie Lee and myself were lucky enough to get 1 day leave into Siagon. And 1 day leave consisted of getting on the trucks, convoy, at 9 o'clock in the morning and driving, I think it was about 15 mile into Siagon with helicopter gunships over the top of the truck for a day's leave, and we had to go back out to Benoit at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Ronnie and myself found a bar and we were having a few drinks, and we met two Americans and a Canadian, and they were all part of the 173rd Airborne Brigade. And we were attached to the 173rd Airborne on the first trip. So we were all talking in the bar and having a great old time. And Ronnie Lee turned around to me and said, Pat, can you drive cattle? And I said, yeah, come off the property, I've driven plenty of cattle. Anyway, I just went on talking to the Canadian bloke and he was talking to the two Yanks. And I don't know, it may have been half an hour later, one of the Yanks called from the door and he said, right, we're ready to go. So we all got up and picked up our bottles and headed for the door and out onto the street. And here's this Yank standing there with a Bullock wagon, this old Bullock in it. Looked like it was half buffalo or something. I never saw anything like it, to be honest. And it was hooked up to like a dray or spring cart type mixture. And he'd taken it off a Vietnamese bloke. You know, we piled on and Ronnie just said to me, righto, Pat, you're the driver, take us to a bar. You know. So I looked around, there was no rain, nothing. And there was a long cane there, and I picked it up, and I was having a drink down the back and having a ball, and a Canadian bloke and myself were at the front. Of course, I had no control, whatever, and I picked this cane up and I just give the Bullock a bit of a tap on the rump, and it started to walk along slowly up the street. And I mean, the streets in Siagon was just a nightmare. Cars and motorbikes and push bikes and rickshaws and you name it, going in every direction. There didn't seem to be any road rules. Anyway, we came to a corner and I thought, well, I'll turn down here and we'll find a bar down there somewhere. Anyway, I reached out with the cane and I thought, if I give it a whack on the jaw, it'll probably turn and go down that street. Well, I gave it a whack on the jaw, but it didn't turn. It just broke into a sort of a hand gallop, half, you could say, a fast canter. And they're laughing and having a ball, thinking everything was great. Everything was under control, and I had no control whatever. But anyway, I thought, well, we'll just hang in there and it'll pull up somewhere. Anyway, I did. It went up to a fence, half a mile up, and stopped. And I looked across, and there was a bar only probably 20, 30 yards away. And I just said, "Here we are." And we all climbed off and went into the bar. And I suppose we spent about another hour and a half having a drink and whatever there, and telling yarns. And then we got a little motorbike type taxi thing that they used over there to take us back to the trucks. The funny part about it was that I had absolutely no control whatever over that Bullock, and they were quite sure, that I had total control. I had none.